Definitely. We totally agree on the idea of the United States of Africa, and but we're looking into the economics of our country and get to know as to what could be the fundamental in the core things that could be outlined. But because we know that we're moving to Industrial Revolution number 4 into the 5th, and it is quite imperative that we look into the PRF agenda, same time the population reduction formula, to say, well, there's still more plenty, in the river, and here now we get this movement of saying, if possibly we can look into that, what can we really achieve and what can we really get to our people. And so now saying, well, I'm not the one to issue this claim to say the PRF agenda should be instigated against which tribal people, but it's just an idea, it's just a concept. it's revolving around my mind, but deep inside my eye, when I see, I've just realized that the agenda has been long time been planned, because all along this years there are people, the Akon agenda has been pushed there, because we know when we talk about the population, it was not the way how it was during the original indigenous primitive people of the earthers, when they were still occupied by those very outnumbered people of about 500k in population density, and just living in harmony with the planet and the solar or the cosmos as a whole. But then now this invasion, because I always talk about the invasion, but people don't never understand what invasion I am talking about, and what is this invasion has done into the earth itself, to the solar system. Because in further digging of information and conspiracy, you get to know that it seems the sun was borrowed, it seems like the moon was borrowed, it seems like certain the planet was borrowed and brought into this to make a construct of this solar system. And now with such staggering information, now you start to think and say, really, what really transpired into creation? Could it be this real way? Well, if I am taking my old file of research where I come to the conclusion to say, I think this is not the way how these things they were originally been structured, but somehow they've been altered, or there's been interference somehow. So it is why now, even myself, I really confirm that some of the planets we have, they've been borrowed from a different solar system or a galaxy and then brought here. But in the true sense, when we read from the Bible, which now they talk about Genesis, is where you find God creating everything. Now we as the youngsters, as the youths, as the Bob of this time, we start now to ask ourselves this question: how does we give such information? What is true here? So now I start to create doubts, and you start now saying, what really transpired? But the overall objection is that it's the way how we make our houses. They are very beautiful outside, but inside there's a lot of wiring that you cannot see. It's more like when you use your light at home, you see that hey, it's working, but if you don't know, you get to know there wiring behind. So I think the whole solar system, the whole galaxy, it is the same thing. If we can able to build our houses, we can be able to build our innovations, our civilization, all this manipulation, we can do that. It simply also take us back to say, even creation as a whole is how it's been made, but not say on manipulation, but after the golden age, when now there was a charismatic events, the heavens have to meet now, the underworld is where now we get what we have today, to my eyesight, because that's how I perceive it. But I know that once in a lifetime, once in the time of these aeons, we used to live in the mind of God, in the mind of Jah, where we were like his thoughts, we were like his thinking, we were like his deep imagination, but in the mind, So it's when it answers the question now to say, as time goes on, things depreciate, the thought become visible, which is became to creation. So that's how we came to be as we are. And now it goes to say even new diverse cosmological interplanetary universe that are interlinked, intersharing, interacting to each other. They were just born to be. So once they were there, Jah made everything to be, and then from there, here we get now the idea to say among this creation, some wanted to do their own thing. So now we're talking about the rebellion in creation rather than in heaven. So that's why now we find that this invasion I'm talking about, that's how it comes in interlink. So if you go back there now, you track this this information. They talk about the Archon agenda, rather than the reptile, because reptile are even lesser beings besides the Archon, because Archons, they are at a higher frequency vibration state. They're like crystal creatures which they can't even occupy the frequency of the earth. They're at a higher level, very advanced, very sophisticated, because this is where our technology in the reality they say it come from. So if you go now to other books like the Quran, they talk about the jinns, and they tell us that the technology we use, it's a way behind thing. They've been played long and eons and eons, and now what you're having here is just a part in the mind hole, which I can't even say what I'm sharing with you is the ultimate, but this is an eye-opener. This is something that keeps you thinking and say, oh yeah, that's how the world it's created, that's how the world it's been designed and manufactured to be, that's how the world has been twisted and altered. So when the invasion come, the Archons, they come now in the form of the Anunnakis. We have Anunnakis or the Anunnakis if they come to it, but in their higher dimension they are not called the Anunnakis, they are called the Eskegish. These are the same creatures who brought civilization on the earth, of Jewish, of weaponry system, technology, and of all of this, even the study in the physics about the cosmos and all of that. Now that's where you find now saying because of such things they brought to we the youths now say, fine, we hear that agenda is a different chapter from our original chapter, the main operation where we're from. So now from that way we get to know to say, let us track our roots and culture. What is rightful of the real earthers, indigenous, primitive people who were given to say, it is your place, and this is where you're dwelling. You live and you sit there. And so, so just speculating on that to say, so the invasion came, it found this 5,000 population density. And now they started to introduce methods of scientific methods. They introduce high-grade technology that we have never seen with our eyes. And it was so said that now they introduce weapons, not massive weapon of destruction that we know. They introduce biological weapons. So what happened is that when we talk about biological weapons, it means genetically so our system was altered. So in an alteration of our system genetics, we became the creature that we are today. So that is why now they talk of evolutions and all of that, because if you read more about the neuroscience, the mind of a person, of people, of an individual, they tell us that in the cerebrum there's a lesser complex mentality, complex a society of this advanced Anunnaki wire-up system of genetics, which is going to evolve as it's happening now. So what I'm saying, I think 60% of the youth that you have today, the way how they think and reason, it's not their mind of the human beings. It is now the R complex, a mentality that is playing all what we see. Even I myself, in this case, I can still say in some of this information, I am somehow motivated by this RS complex mentality, which now is the reason I'm sharing such share to you, so that you get to know the truth And so that's how it. So now, going back to our main talk and our main story, invasion versus the PRF agenda. So when the invasion came, they changed the DNA system sequencing, and now the people that were there on it, they never much enjoyed the idea of sexuality involvement unnecessarily, but well, they used to indulge, but for the sake of enjoyment. So there are this reptile now, in this case the aircons, discovered the earth has minerals, resources like your gold, even a resource which they can be found on other planets but within this sphere. So this old scalar system of the Orient Empire, the Phoenician system, and the Syria Saw, those are external invaders who came in. So when they get here, they introduce their genetic biological weapons to the human beings so that they may start now involve more in sex and then producing large number of kids, which the kids now will be enslaved to work, go dig this gold, go dig these minerals, these precious stones below need that. And that's how now today you find people, they have about 7-8 kids, which in the true sense it is not related to their genetics. But because if no one tells them the truth, they will still take it in the fashion of the Bible that God said they must multiply with no limitation. So that is why we are in this kind of a chaos. So that is why now I'm saying in the United States of Africa, versus the PRF agenda, to say this is a staggering exponential population is at a higher grade. And now the agenda, as you know, is being placed in this fashion to say Africans, they shall not be blinded and make more production like the Chinese, because I feel there's still the hand in the glove, a bigger one behind the curtain, which is going to enslave the entire population once more again. More like, how the European invaded Africa back in the 14th century, 1615, under Christopher Columbus and so forth. They will come back now in a very a complex system called the modern system, where people, they will live to say they have a freedom of speech, movement, but in the true sense, their 5 cents, their reasoning, and their freedom and liberty is not in their minds, is not in their heart, is not even in themselves. So we're saying the movement here, we're not fighting for power and control, we're fighting for our rights and justice and their equal rights. So we get to know that. So we get to know it's just how it is. So that is why I talk about. So when you say United States of Africa versus the PRF agenda and of the Asians, it must come and act. But now if I talk in a broad sense, to say prophetically, now you can really see that the prophecy is being fulfilled here. Because we can't run, but you see microchip and computers, we can't escape them. They're here, they're being planned, being instigated, being placed, and everything is in regulation and circulation. But what I know, what I'd like to share more is get to know your roots and your information and where you're from, and know how things are being set up here. And then once you know all of that, I tell you for sure, you will know what to defend and not to defend. So yeah, this is us here on Pro FM again once more. But rather than being a Pro FM, it is indeed the Rebel Salute that is the drive of Pro FM to be, because without the Rebel Salute, Pro FM we can't have relevant talks and discussions. So we definitely rely on the power of the Rebel Salute, which the Rebel Salute, and so it's a lot. You know what you mean. If you know me, I know you. You feel it, and if you feel it, you know it. So it's a Rebel Salute movement network. So that is why we share such knowledge. And now the masses don't know about such information as to what are going and what's happening. So things are still in motion. Life here on the Rebel Salute, the ultimate truth, ever pending ultimate truth, the truth that has never been told and shared. And no, I'm not being boastful to say probably I know much. No, I don't know nothing. This is just information in circulation. Find yourself one and you'll know what to do. Yeah, man. Give thanks there. This is I Rebel Salute, SSMT. Sweet.